morning from my part as well. It's really a pleasure to be here. This is my second experience about the open innovation. I was one of those privileged people who participated in December 2010 when we had the first round. It's interesting to see how things have evolved since 18 months ago. So why do we talk about mobile communications? Why do we talk about ICT? It is not just because it's fashionable. It is because ICT and mobile communication is the most rapidly growing industry in the world. We have, through these years of economic recession, our industry has been growing double-digit figures despite the economic difficulties. And that's not all. ICT, mobile communication, they represent enabling technologies. We all know that they are the backbone of a modern society. When we have an increase in the mobile penetration by 10 percentage points, we have an increase of GDP by 0.7%. And if we can connect that to the connection to the internet, we get 1.5% increase in the GDP. So we see that this is a backbone of the economic growth. But it's also a backbone of the productivity of your economy. We know that 40% of all productivity gains can be attributed to intelligent use of ICT. So in these conditions, your economic prosperity is today entirely dependent on your capabilities of utilizing what the mobile communication ICT can deliver. And the list is, of course, much longer. We talk about social exclusion. We can talk about health. We can talk about education. Reaching out to people who previously were excluded have now the capacity and opportunity of being connected and being the part of the society and enjoying the benefits that the society can provide, and also allowing them to contribute to the society in the best way that they can. Finally, we also know that ICT and mobile communication plays an extremely important role in our fight of creating a sustainable future for our children. We know that the global warming, the environmental challenges we are facing are huge. But at the same time, we know that intelligent use of ICT would reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 15% without any extra cost. That would be a net effect. If we utilize ICT in an intelligent way, we can reduce the greenhouse gas emissions by 15%. The more we study the benefits, the more we find. So it is indeed, it's in a Pandora's box, where you find more and more capabilities, livelihood, building blocks to the society. We are very proud at Nokia that we have been part of this journey. We have been able to deliver solutions, devices, and different kinds of applications which have brought things forward, has been able to connect people around the world. We are, as a company today, in a transformation. But it's important to remember that this is business as usual. If we look back Nokia's history, we were established 1865, more than 140 years ago. You can just think how many crises we have gone through. So this is just one of them. We are in the middle of transformation. And this is not just because the company would be in a transformation. We are in the middle of a major disruption. What we see happening in the technology, what we see happening in the ways how the technology is being utilized, we see completely new ways emerging. There are two fundamental changes behind this disruption. The first one is digital convergence. Today we are in a situation where everything, all content can be digitalized, packaged into digital services, transmitted over any distribution network, and consumed with the help of any device. So this is a completely different environment, if you think. We had the broadcasting, we had the telecom, we had the internet. Now they are all coming together, and that is changing the landscape in a fundamental way. The other important change is change in the internet itself. When we are moving forward, we are not anymore seeking for data. We know that the future internet is interactive, it's personalized, it's context aware, and it's semantic. So in those conditions, we don't anymore go to the internet, we live with the internet. In that sense, it itself will become a livelihood enabling tool. So in the middle of this transition, it's no wonder that we are in a transition. All companies are in transition today. You also know that we have decided to join forces with Microsoft in the smartphone space, and we are coming strongly with new smartphones to the market. But that is not the whole story. We are developing the other platforms, which gradually will be able to distribute and deliver exactly the same kind of user experience than smartphones do today. So therefore, we will be able to bring the smartphone experience to people all around the world. And this is the fundamental change which is taking place. But to be able to exploit the opportunities we see here, as has been said many times, Dr. Demo mentioned it, we need cooperation, we need partnerships. No party, no stakeholder can do this alone. We need government, we need civil society, we need academia, and we need the business community. And I think that one of the important discussion topics for us for the coming 3 days is really to understand better the roles that these different stakeholders are playing. Because if you do wrong, so in fact you disrupt the development. So it's vitally important to understand what are the roles of each of these stakeholders. I'm very happy to be here, and I am particularly pleased to see all you around, because just sharing the understanding, exploring these extremely complex topics together, we can generate something which is genuinely new. I want to thank InfoDev, Finnish government, Capgemini, and of course my company, who has made this event possible. And I particularly want to thank also Kenya and the Kenyan people for their hospitality. I have enjoyed this immensely. Thank you so much.